totally honest with you, bringing you Black Clover review, chapter 170, titled "The Fallen Has Taken Action." This episode, manga chapter this week was really good. Not better than last week's chapter, but it was setting up pretty interesting fights. We got the conclusion between Yami versus Charlotte, and it's funny because Yami lost, but at the same time, it's weird how he lost, because it's like she put him in rubble with her attack, and all she got was a scratch, and then she thought, okay, he's defeated, and she just walked off. And then Yami comes out of nowhere, as you see in the thumbnail, angry. Come back here, you witch. He doesn't use witch, but I'm trying not to curse on the channel. But yeah, you get my point, and it's funny. That whole scene, like I was worried last week what would happen if he was just laying there defeated when she finished him off or whatever. But because the way the fight finished, him being buried under rubble, I guess she thought he was gonna die anyway from all the injuries plus the rubble on top of him. But it didn't go out that way. But luckily she didn't make that foolish mistake and turn her back and left. So yeah, and I kind of figured that Yami would probably lose. That would be the only way to make sense, really. Not lose because he wasn't defeated, he's still up and running, but technically in her mind is a loss, and it's a good thing that it went that way, because if Yami would have defeated her, more people would have came after her energy shuts off, and people would have, well, did she die? Did she get knocked out? If more comrades would have came after the fight, Yami most likely wouldn't have been able to take them on, and then he probably would have died. So it's a good thing. But yeah, after that first half of the chapter of Yami and her, and everything, and we also saw her apprentice. She was gonna look in the black jewel, but she heard the explosion in the back and ran back. And Captain Yami told her, "Oh, if you still have time to be here and save people, there's still captains and stuff and lieutenants to be saved." Then we shift over to the second half of the chapter, where we're in the prison cells, and most of the inmates got out because of this ruckus. And we see the old captain of the purple, I think it was the purple poisons, or the purple toxic, I can't remember, of that big dude who become invisible. We see him. I'm going to try to pronounce his name. Geldra Pazat. I'm just going to call him Pazat. We see Pazat, and we also see Kusura. And if you don't remember who Kusura is the chain user that we saw in episode 1, manga 1. The one who tied up Yuno and was trying to steal his book. We found out that burn that he has on his face, he actually got from that captain, who was his captain, who he used to be under when he was a magic knight. And he wanted to attack him to get revenge, but this really powerful elf showed up out of nowhere, and they sensed that they couldn't beat him one-on-one, so what they did was they tag team him, and the chain user, Kusurvi, chained him up so he couldn't use his magic, and the invisible guy just made all these invisible specks of force and just bodied him and stuff. And the fight looked like it's over, but I highly doubt it. The fights in Black Clover are usually fast, but they're not that fast, where there's always one hit KO, so most likely next week we get another conclusion. But while that's happening, we have the capital getting attacked by this other elf. And I believe this one is not a captain either. This one is a lieutenant of a captain, the same as the other one in the prison. And we see Leo there. And Leo's like, I'm from the Vermilion family, and I'm also from the Lion Pride Knights. I forgot the knight's name, but basically, he was stating who he is and saying we won't give up and we're gonna fight you to the end and stuff like that. And that's where the chapter ends off. If there's one thing I have to complain about in Black Clover when it comes to the manga, is the fact that the manga feels so fast. and we don't get that many pages either. All the other mangas that we get that release weekly, we get like 20 pages. And this is a special, then sometimes we may get more with a color page or whatever. But when it comes to Black Clover, it's like Black Clover is always like somewhere in the range of 12 to 15, and it's like, really? But again, even though it was real short, it was a good chapter. It was just a build-up chapter, but the things that they're building up on, you know, Charlotte leaving to unite with Lynch and Light, and Yami's gonna probably hunt them down and go after them. Then we have Katari and Zapat fighting the other guy in the jail cell. Then we have Leo and his group fighting another another lieutenant. So this was just a setup chapter, but it set up some really good fights to come in. I just can't wait to see what the Black Bulls do, really. So far, they're like the most interesting team, and their team dynamics and powers work so well together. It's like incredible. And they're supposed to be the weakest / oddballs of the group of the Knights. So it's nice seeing them. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here for this one. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts and opinions. If you haven't read it, go read it. If you already read it, but go read it again. Good bit of chapter, but yeah, tell me what you thought below, and just like, comment, share, subscribe, and share with your friends. Peace.